today's reading of the book of Luke, we're in Luke chapter 18, and we are going to start in verse 15. It says, people were also bringing babies to Jesus for him to place his hands on them. And when the disciples saw this, they rebuked them. But Jesus called the children to come to him. Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of God belongs to such as these. Truly I tell you, anyone who will not receive the kingdom of God like a child will never enter it. Short passage, but man, I think it really speaks to the heart attitude that we are to have in regards to the truth that Jesus speaks and in how we live our lives around one another. First Jesus speaks about the fact that the kingdom of God, no one can receive the kingdom of God unless they receive it like these little children. Children take things on faith. They believe what is told to them. They don't always question why it is that's happening. They just recognize that when someone who they trust has told them that this is what they must do, or this is how they must act, or this is what needs to happen, they just do it, based solely upon the authority of the one who has spoken it to them and the relationship that they share. If you have kids, maybe you've seen this in your own life, in your own relationship with your children, that as you ask them to do something, they just get up and they move. Why? Because they know that you love them and that you wouldn't steer them astray. It's interesting to me that as children get older and they become adolescents and teenagers and then adults, how much more they push and buck against the authority of their parents, the authorities of those who have always been the authority of their life. There's this deep desire to blaze your own trail, to make your own decisions, to be respected on the same level as the one who had authority over you before. And I think this really speaks to our relationship, what Jesus is speaking about here, the heart condition. Do we believe God because God is God? Do we believe God because God has continually shown us that he has our best interest in mind? Or do we require explanation? Do we require science to make things seem right? Do we require a pastor to step in and help motivate us and show us this is correct? If we do, what does it say about our relationship with God? Likewise, in here, I'm reminded about the disciples. As the disciples see these people bringing their little babies to Jesus, they rebuke them and tell them to go away. I'm reminded about how often we respond that same way. When people are excited about the kingdom of God and they want to know Jesus, we oftentimes shoo them away because they're not approaching God the way that we would think that they should, or the way that we do it. I'm reminded of this truth, that the kingdom of God speaks to our heart. Do we have a relationship with the Almighty? And are we chasing after him? If that's the case, well then please, by all means, come to the Lord. Whatever way that might look, come and draw near to Jesus and be obedient to his words. And he says, if you do, you will know the kingdom of God. My prayer is that you know the kingdom of God today, that you're experiencing it because of your relationship with God. If you don't have a relationship with God, or you're looking to strengthen your relationship with God, let us know in the comment section below. We'd love to pray with you. We'd love to encourage you however we can. Hopefully these videos are helping. My hope and prayer is that you are drawing near to the Almighty, because it's in him and in him alone that we find life. Look forward to seeing you again as we continue on our study, the book of Luke.